Hi everyone, my name is Tracy Metz and today we're going to go over the basic strategy for naming alkenes. As you know, alkenes are molecules that consist only of carbon and hydrogen and contain only single bonds. We will now go over the steps for naming an alkane. Step 1 is to name the parent chain. This is the longest continuous chain of carbon atoms. Once you have determined how many carbons are in the parent chain, you're going to go and pair it with the prefix for naming and attach ANE at the end. The second step is to name any alkyl group substituents, which would include methyl or ethyl groups and so on. Step number 3 is to determine the point of attachment of alkyl group or groups to the parent chain. To determine where to start numbering, we're going to begin numbering from the end of the parent chain that is nearest to a substituent. Lastly, for step 4, we're going to construct the name of the alkane by placing the alkyl groups in alphabetical order and specifying their position numbers, followed by the name of the parent chain. We'll start with our first example. First, we determine the number of carbons in the parent chain, which is 3. Since there are no substituents, our final answer for this would be propane. Some common uses for propane, which I'm sure we are all grateful for, are listed. We will start with our next example. First, we will start again with finding how many carbons are in the parent chain. Since there are 4, this corresponds with butane. Next, we will determine any substituent groups shown. There is 1, which is methyl. Next, we're going to determine the point of attachment, so we'll start numbering the carbons with the one closest to the substituent. The methyl is attached at number 2. Finally, we will construct the name by first starting with the substituent names with their position in alphabetical order, followed by the parent chain. This one comes out to 2-methylbutane. Here is a slide showing one of the uses of 2-methylbutane. Here I have included a couple common errors, which would be do not start to number the carbon from the left automatically. Make sure you go from the point of nearest attachment to a substituent group. Another error that is common is not using the longest continuous chain of carbon atoms and just going with the straightest line. This will be our last example, so click pause to copy the problem and see if you can do it yourself first. We will start this one the same as the others. We're going to determine the number of carbons in the parent chain, which is 7 to equal heptane. Next, we're going to determine how many substituent groups there are. In this one, there are 2, 1 ethyl and 1 methyl. Next, we're going to determine the point of attachment to the substituent groups. We're going to start numbering from the left since the substituent is closest to the left carbon. The methyl is attached on 2 and the ethyl is attached on carbon number 3. Next, we'll construct the final name. We're going to do the substituents in alphabetical order, which places the ethyl first, so it will be 3-ethyl 2-methylheptane. Thanks everyone for watching. Hopefully this will help with any confusion when naming the alkanes. The rest of the chemistry class will just build upon this concept, so it is very important to understand. Also, thank you to Professor Zoval for having such detailed notes for this because they are really helpful, especially with the step-by-step examples. Also, thanks to my fiance for editing the video. I would have never been able to do it without him. And of course, my cat Luke for getting dry erase marker all over the carpet.